Good morning. This is lesson 2, more with interval notation. As we started about interval notation the other day, today we're going to go a little bit deeper and figure out not just what the notation is, but how it's going to be used in pre-calculus. Let's remember from Algebra 2 the vocabulary of domain, which is the set of x values for which a function is defined, and the range, the set of y values for which the function is defined. Again, the domain is usually what we refer to as the input variable, and the range is the result or the output variable. Let's think quickly about this graph from Algebra 2. We see that we have a parabola. We see the vertex is labeled at 3, -5. And the question is, what is the domain and range? So when I think about this domain, I see that there are arrows on both sides. This graph goes on to infinity. So in Algebra 2, we would have written the domain as all real numbers, or from -infinity to +infinity. When we look at the range is the set of y values that works for the particular function. Looking at the fact that -5 is my smallest y value, I would say y is greater than or equal to -5. If I wanted to, I could label these again in Algebra 2 using inequality notation. How I'm going to use this in pre-calculus is we're going to add to this our interval notation. So instead of saying all real values or writing it as an equality, I'm going to write it as an interval, as x is an element from -infinity to +infinity. Instead of writing the range as an inequality, I'm going to write the range as y is an element. Now I'm going from -5 to +infinity. Again, remember we label that interval from the smallest number to the largest number. -5 has brackets because I include the -5, and I never put brackets on infinity because I can never get there. We're going to go through 3 examples of domain and range for 3 specific functions that we see here. What I would like you guys to do is first decide if it's a function, then write the domain and range in interval notation and using inequalities. Again, hopefully you guys feel comfortable using those inequalities, and then we can add to that and practice our work with interval notation. Go ahead at this point, copy down these 3 pictures into your notes, pause the video, write down your answers. After you have your answers, then move forward to the next slide. As we come back together on this new slide, again, we can see that I've written the domain and range in inequality notation. So what I would like to do is add to that our intervals, making sure we account for the x is an element of and y is an element of. So for the first one, we can see that this graph initiates at the -4 and moves positive direction towards +infinity. That means x is greater than or equal to -4. When I write that as an interval, it's x is an element, -4 is included, so it's -4 to infinity. When I look at that y value, again, it initiates at -infinity and goes up to 5. So when we write that as a interval, it's y is an element. Remember, we always write the smallest number first, which in this case is -infinity up to 5. Remember that in each direction, both the x and the y, we have a positive and negative infinity, so we have to be cautious of that. The second function on here is similar to what would be a cubic function. Therefore, my domain and range is infinite, so I'm going to write the domain as all real numbers. Again, that's x is an element from -infinity to +infinity, and my range is the same, -infinity to +infinity. We want to change that at the beginning. Remember, when you're listing domain, start with x is an element of. When you're listing range, start as y is an element of. The third function on here is an example of a absolute value function. It goes on forever in the domain direction. So again, your domain is infinite from negative infinity to positive infinity. The range initiates at -3 and goes to positive infinity in the y direction. So we want to make sure we account for that by saying y is an element of -3 to infinity. Again, as we look at these these 6 intervals, we can pay attention to the fact that anytime we have infinity or negative infinity, we always have parentheses. If we have something included, we use a bracket. If we had an example where it was just greater than or less than, remember we would use the parenthesis. After going through these notes and adding them and rewatching the video as many times as you need to make sure you have an understanding, you should go to the WAMAP assignment and attempt that before we meet in class again. Please bring your questions to class as we'll be starting on the next lesson soon. Thank you and have a good day.